Book, bunk, bunk. I just got the notification, so we
Oh,
must be going
hey
on.
everyone. I just got a message from YouTube that says Hangouts on Air's going away later this year.
What?
Yeah, that's what it says. Oh, I need to mute my thing. I don't know why it's not muted. What the fuck? Anyway, um, yeah, it says it's going away. For quick streaming, try youtube.com/webcam.
Oh,
They want you to use their YouTube thing, you know that's Google is, whatever. Anyway.
I don't see how it's any damn difference. I mean, we were
So,
you had to do it a certain way, then they switched to the Google way, so now they're taking that away.
yeah, they can't make up their mind half the time. So
They keep
anyway, hi everyone.
they keep
um,
a lot of crack over at YouTube.
that's right. They do. So we are going to be writing in tonight, and we have the questions for tonight going to be based around genre. So that should be fun.
Genre G.
Yep, that's right. That should be fun. I can't wait to do that. Aphrodite actually came up with those questions when we haven't been on for about 2 weeks, I think
It's
now.
so crazy. I must have been glitching when I did because I don't recall giving you.
Yeah, you made
I
those
do not have
questions.
any recall, but that's cool. That means that
Yeah,
I'm
so
not as prepped as I like to be when everything's alive.
right. So let me see here. Everyone knows who I am. I mean, it's on my channel, so maybe you don't. I don't know.
Maybe.
um, I'm author Danette Tillery. Well, DL Tillery. That's my full name. Um, but I'm going to get that changed, so don't be surprised. Um, so I've been a little bit behind lately, so I haven't been uploading any videos, which I'm really sorry about. I had my editing program conk out on me, so I don't really have one right now. I still need to upload something, a new program on my computer, and then try to get some videos recorded, which I'm working on. But I don't really expect to have anything until the first week of July, more likely, which is next week anyway. Hopefully, I'll have something up, and I'm probably going to be uploading videos on Fridays now, so the Tuesdays, because they seem to be, Wednesdays, because they're so hectic for me anyway for the whole week, but whatever. But the live write-ins, I think 2 weeks ago, got canceled because we couldn't do anything because YouTube
Right,
was going crazy and no one could do any live streaming at all.
right. That was not our fault.
No, it was not. And then the week after that, that was definitely my fault because I had baby time thing. So, and it was supposed to be on my channel. So when it's time for the baby, then everything else gets cut off. So any mothers out there know that this is how it is
Right.
sometimes. So, but anyway, we're back this week. So, we're coming at you with genres, and anyone who's joined us can answer the questions. I'm gonna pull up
What are
this on here so I can
What are
read the
you
chat.
working on this week, DL?
Oh, so I plan on tonight. I was planning on working on it's writing related, but it's some of my other things that I do because I'm a dancer and I'm a director of a convention, so I have a lot of writing materials I need to do for that.
Right.
And it's next weekend, so I have to focus on finishing that. So I didn't even do any writer prompts with the Writers Unite that I usually do every month because I
Wait,
just don't
did
have
you
any
say it's
time.
next weekend?
It's next weekend.
Are
Yeah.
you serious? Oh my fucking god! I must have been like in a time loop or something.
Hmm.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so I'm trying to crunch and get everything done, and people are throwing me curveballs, and I'm like dodging them and shit, like
Oh,
So it's hectic. So I just have to deal with that stuff. So I'll be writing all that stuff out while we're on the writing tonight, which really is helpful to me. But I don't plan on doing any physical writing for my novel, like the finishing the revision and stuff, until after the convention. So July, August, September is all going to be focused on getting Chronicles of Cagliostro ready for a winter release. So I have to prepare the book for my beta run and for my editor for October. So that's all the thing I'll be focusing on. So all my videos coming up is going to be all about Chronicles of Cagliostro and how revisions work and all that jazz, because that's what I've been doing. Um,
Well,
but yeah, anyway, you go, Aphrodite. You can do your introduction.
hola world. My name is Aphrodite Lee, and excuse me if my voice sounds weird today. This is weird for me because I am actually finally caught up on my writing projects, like 100% caught up. Like I don't know what to do with my hands caught up. So, and that's rare for me, just in general, because I usually have another project in the chamber ready to go, which I have stuff that I can start, but it wasn't stuff that was scheduled to be started, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I just finished, I think 2 days ago, my final proof for Shattered, which I feel crazy because it's like it's gone. It's the baby is gone. It's out of my hands now.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't have it anymore. It's done. So it is currently being correctly formatted and book covered and all that other good stuff while I bite my nails and just wait for shit to go down.
Yeah.
My other thing that I'm working on is trying to gather up folk for ARC reading, to do ARC, to give ARC copies to, because ARC copies are free, and trying to find folks who sincerely want to read it and do reviews on it, honest reviews.
Well, I will be doing one, obviously, because I'm an alpha.
I'm so scared because I'm just scared. This is the only book I have ever written that is nothing like anything else I've ever written. And
it's amazing, I must say.
I'm terrified. I feel stupid for being terrified. And I don't mean it like in the sense where, I mean, there are going to be people who don't like it.
Of course.
Everybody's not going to like it.
No.
I don't mean it like that.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like now that I've given birth to this baby, I feel exposed. I don't know how to put it into the right words without sounding like, please like my book. But of course, I want everybody to like it.
Of course. I'm wrong with that.
Yeah, more than that, I want everybody to be honest, so.
I'm sure you don't have to worry about that. And in some cases, it's not going to always be honesty. It's just going to be straight up people just being douchebags.
Yeah, I assume it's going to be.
There's people like that.
I've been breaking my rules for the last week, and I've been watching review videos. I do not watch review videos. And I say that, I want to be clear. I don't have a problem with review videos. I just don't watch them. And so I'm watching them to see how people have been critiquing stuff and the way they're doing it. And 90% of the people out there are doing a fantastic job. They're actually critiquing. Sure. But I'm seeing like some major petty shit. And I'm like, how do you...
You know you're going to get it. You know you're going to. Because
how do you brace yourself for that? Like,
the thing is, you can't, because I already know, and you can kind of sometimes guess possibly what the people that are going to be negative may say, especially in the world we live in today. With everyone else, everybody's sensitive about everything. So you do have to be careful what you say, and you could insult someone. You're not even trying to insult anyone, and you possibly do something that's insulting someone,
Right.
Like a woman has on a short skirt. You're probably going to insult someone because they don't like women wearing short skirts, So the fact of the matter is, it's going to be something in your book that's going to insult someone or annoy them or make them say something that has nothing to even do with the story or what's happening in the book. It's something personal in their life that they don't like, and they're going to just put it on your book. I'm already expecting that to happen when my book comes out. Like, I already know it's going to happen.
Like, it's like,
like, talk about the book,
you know what's going to happen.
I know.
But it doesn't make, and I'm not even nervous about that. I'm nervous about the whole ball of wax. So even the people who are like, oh my goodness, we like it. Like, there have been some people who got back in touch with me who read early drafts of it.
Yeah.
And were giving me glowing reviews, and they're like, oh my God, this, that, and the third. And I still almost like wanted to cry. Like, Someone read it. You know,
You're so funny.
I feel like a goofball.
I keep telling you how good it is, but of course, I guess you know. I don't know. I'm an adamant reader, so I mean, you can see from behind me. So I've read a lot of different stuff. So when I first read your book, I was like,
"It's fun to see." I'm glad that you liked it, and I'm hoping that it's well received.
well, you know, I've been telling people about it, and that girl Rachel who read your erotic novel,
Oh my
she wants to read Shattered too, so she's gonna buy that. So
does she understand that Shattered ain't nothing like?
Oh no, she's fine with it because she reads everything.
That's good.
She reads YA, she reads adult, new adult. Because Rachel is about 25, I think, but she has like she's 25, but she seems like someone who's like 40 something.
That's why that's like the opposite of me. I'm pushing 60, but I swear to you.
I was telling my mom the other day, I was like, Aphrodite, when we talk, because we have so much in common, and I was like, I'll be thinking about her like a sister. But she'll be like, "You're like my daughter." So I'm like, "Yeah, I keep forgetting you're my mom."
I tell everybody
like you're my mom's age, but I'm like, well, my little brother was like, Joshua was like, "What?"
Well, he didn't believe it.
No, he's like, "What?"
Because I'm a fucking clown.
That's you in your 30s or something, like close to my age. He was like, "Well, she don't look her age for one, and second of all, that you know, that's what
age. She's an immature, crazy, psychotic bitch. There is a 17-year-old boy trapped inside of me. That's what it is. People get it like when I tell people, like when people see me with my son is damn near 30. And I was damn near 30 when I had him. And every time I tell people that, they're like, whatever, either you're lying or you don't want to admit that little young buck is your boyfriend. And I'm like, and he doesn't make it easier because he likes to hold my hand because he's a noob. And and he calls me by my first name. My first name is Hope. So he calls me by Hope. So he's like, Hope, come on, let me. And people are like, oh, that's so cute. They're such a sweet couple. Like, this is my son. Look at him closely. He looks just like me. Let's be clear. But people, I don't think it's my looks. I think it's because I am a fucking goofball.
I think I kind of see you like a sister, probably because we have a lot in common. I usually don't, you know, even though all my friends are older people, they're either my age or older than me. In most cases, they're all older than me because like Lori's older than me, you're older than me, Grant's older than me. Pravi's older than me. Everybody I know that's my friends are like in their 50s and 40s because I relate to people also in that age range. Because I have to be a Gen Xer more than likely for me to probably relate to them. And I think people who are early 50s to mid 50s still cut into Gen Xers as far as they recently released the scale for that. So I just made it to be Gen Xer, but I definitely don't relate to millennials. That don't work. But so Gen Xer people is just like my thing. So I'm thinking the age range of my friends is like from 30s to like late 50s almost. You know,
that's fun to look at them. That's why.
Supernova said it's because you're wise.
Pervert. I know. I know. Because we were talking like the only dude that I liked that was close to my age is Chuando.
Yeah, well, okay, wait. I gotta tell you because I saw him first. I knew about him before you did.
You did. And you know
I was like, Aphrodite, check out this dude.
You weren't even the one who told me about him. My friend looks just like him. And what
friend is that?
Oh, he's married. That's
well, duh.
I'll show you a picture of him if you think I'm kidding.
Well, duh. Like him. I mean, because how would he not be married? I'm just saying.
Right. Girl, I'll show him to you. We can't do it here, but I'll show him to you. But he looks just like him, and so he did a April Fool's gag like 4 or 5 years ago. And let's see, Chuando is 53, I think. So it had been like 3 years ago.
That's
and he was like, "Oh yeah, look at my picture of me." And you know the one where he's showing all his abs and everything. But it was a April Fool's thing. And I'm like, but I'm looking at it going, damn, I almost said his name. Let's make up his name. Damn, Tony. Oh, milk has done a body good. Then come to find out it wasn't him.
He was like, don't be doing that to me.
But then he was like, this dude is 51 years old. I'm like, Yeah, I know black don't crack and Asian don't raisin, but that's some voodoo.
He kept that in some good shape. I'm just saying, like, I love Guy. Like, I
Yeah.
love Guy. Like, if I saw Guy to this day, I still would jump him. But Guy is getting older. You can tell Guy's getting older. But only thing Guy does now, Cheryl said, he don't really do his music too much anymore. But he just works out all the time, and he has an Instagram that he does. And he just like doing sit-ups and stuff all the time. I'm like, Guy, you
Guy
can't take your
is
shirt off.
a
Like,
vampire. You're
I
gonna
know.
find out that this man been like 700 years old. He's a vampire. Y'all don't know who he is. Y'all need to look him up. He's fun.
Yeah.
To another level, but I'm telling you, he is not human.
I don't know where they. I'm gonna say they breeding these Korean men. Like, what's up with them?
He's not human. And let me wait. Chuando is from Singapore, and then my friend is from the Philippines. I'm Asian, don't raisin.
I know, man.
Don't crack. And then I get to be Aphrodite Lee, so it makes me happy.
I know it does.
It makes me happy, but girl. But he's the only old dude I ever liked.
I know, but he's like melts and I and be an old dude. I'm just saying.
I mean, like I said, he's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's crazy though. He's right in my age range that I like. Let me stop.
He's not in my age range. I am a dirty old lady. But
those young guys though, they do look cute.
He gets a pass. He
does get a pass. Guy gets a pass too, because Guy's in his 50s.
Guy's not human, so he gonna get a pass automatically.
That's true. Supernatural beings do get passes automatically.
I'm convinced he's a vampire. I'm convinced.
True.
You know what I just noticed in my background? You see my blinds and you see that they're broken. Y'all don't laugh. I refuse to fix them because my chair was swivel and hit them, and every time they would swivel and hit them, a new one would break off. So I said, "Fuck it, now they can't break off no more."
You just gotta call that your art blinds.
That
means you be in there writing, so that's your writer blinds.
And I realized that I was swinging and hitting them. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it again and again. Now I don't have to replace them until I move.
That's right.
So guys, we've been rambling. What are you guys working on today? Who's out there working, and what are you working on?
Yeah, let us know.
While you're
letting us know, I'm gonna get the first question up here.
Okay, because don't get me going about pretty boys. Because
you talk about you, we gonna be bad together. We're gonna be, we're just going to do a special write-in with just talking about hot Asian men about this.
Oh my god, Supernova gonna be hanging out with us, picking up dudes. I'm just saying.
Okay, so our first question of the night is genre talk. So, what genre is your work in progress? And which genre would not work for your work in progress?
You go first on that one.
Okay, so my genre, well, I guess it's probably just going to be adult, I would imagine. I guess what genre wouldn't work for it? Obviously, YA. So.
You mean you're supernatural, or is it fantasy? Is it?
It is. Let's see here. I don't know. I don't know where to place it. Like, it's a little hard because I don't know where they're going to place it. I mean, I assume that it gets placed rather you say something or not. You could be wrong. So right. I don't really know where I want to place it because they don't really have a supernatural title. Really, when you look up like genres for books, there isn't one that says supernatural. There's like paranormal,
right,
blah 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 blah, but like they say, well, that just covers it. I'm like, yeah, but when you look up the definition of paranormal has nothing to do with what I'm writing about. So then if you look up supernatural, that's more like what I'm writing about. So I guess in writing I'll have to just be like, okay, well, paranormal romance or whatever. But I would say it's I put it under paranormal espionage romance. Because it has like
it'll work if it truly is supernatural, it'll work under paranormal.
Yeah, I think I'd have to because that's what they have.
Yeah, people will recognize it, and that's the only point of having a label, so to speak. Anyway, just so that people will recognize it. When you're it really doesn't fucking matter. Other than that,
true. I mean, I put it under that. So I guess if I label it under that, then that's what it is. So I guess I will say paranormal, espionage, romance. So
Well,
it's a very
truly, you
specific
won't piss
genre.
anybody off because if somebody picked it up saying, "Oh, she says she has it as paranormal espionage," and they read it, and that's what they're going to get supernatural stuff. They're going to be like, "Yeah, it fits." So,
Yeah, that's true. So I mean, I'll just go with that right now.
Whereas they're not.
Where it wouldn't work in, I don't know. I have so much different stuff in my work in progress. I don't really know where it wouldn't fit. I suppose, because I can't say it won't fit in horror because it has horror elements too.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is it horror?
It has horror elements in it for sure because of some of the beings that's in it. Definitely be under horror as well. So I can't say no horror because it could be put in that genre as well. So I don't really know. Well, I suppose it couldn't be in like.
I know what it's not.
Sci-fi. It's not sci-fi.
It's not a Western. It's not a detective movie.
Well, yeah. It can be a Western or sci-fi. So it's not sci-fi.
Oh, shit. Someone on Twitter asked a question about what's your favorite genre, whether to write it or read it, and what's your least favorite? And then, then the challenge was now you have to combine those two and write a damn book. So I was like,
what the one you like and the one you don't like?
Right. So I was like, I like, everybody knows I like paranormal. So paranormal. And then what I don't like is Western. I don't have a thing against Western. We're just talking about my preference. So I'm like, paranormal Western. And as soon as I wrote that, I went, paranormal Western. Now I have to write it. And
that could work.
This dude hit me up and he was like, you write a damn cowboy vampire, and I'm there. And I'm like, yes, it's on. I feel the challenge. I'm down for that shit now.
Let me see what Supernova was saying here. Let's see what she
I'm saying Supernova. We the three of us need to get together and cruise.
For real, Asian dudes all day, right? Steven said the Oblivion Ring. My high fantasy is what I'll be working on. Awesome. I like the name. Really good.
Steve comes up with like the best names.
Titles for real. Supernova said I'm working on a superhero series. Yay, it's superheroes. I love superheroes.
I love superheroes. Is it going to be a graphic novel, a comic book, or is it literally a traditional novel?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Let us know. But regardless, like I love superheroes.
Yeah, for real.
So for me, my current book is new adult, and I reason why, because we were talking about the reason why I always say new adult because if you read it, you're gonna be like, this can fall in young adult easily. It's like 95% young adult, but because the reason why I want to label it as new adult, simply I don't want kids picking it up and thinking that
it's for young adult.
It's not. I don't know how to say it right. I don't want them to get the wrong impression, thinking, oh wow, we're gonna get this new thing, and there might be some violence and sex in it, but because there's some really, really tough situations in it, and I don't want to put disclaimers in the book.
Yeah, true.
So that's the only reason why I've been saying NA and not YA. But it's based it's still very young adult based, so that I know that audience will dig it. I just don't want them to pick it up with the wrong
impression on that.
Exactly. That's the only thing. I don't care where it got labeled. They can say it's adult. They can say it's middle grade as long as the middle grader know. There are sexual situations. There are violent situations. There's suicide and all kinds of stuff in the book.
Yeah.
And it's not done in a way where.
Do you have to put like trigger warnings or something in your books now?
No one, you don't have to do that, but people that I've talked to who understood the premise of my story was saying you should put trigger warnings, and I hear that, but I actually just don't want to put a trigger warning in it.
That's what I was wondering. I didn't know if you had to or they expect you to. Like, no, I'm not doing that.
The only thing that I've noticed so far that's been a hard and fast rule with Amazon, at least, is that if you have characters under the age of 18, they do not want graphic sex. And so, but of course, unless you're Stephen King and you
can get away with that shit.
Children can have sex, but it's what do you call it? He's traditionally published. He doesn't have to go to the same rigmarole, blah blah blah. But I don't disagree with that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with that because, in my opinion, I don't think there should be a situation where children are having sex.
Right.
Whether it's with children, other children or not, it's not really something I think should be happening. So,
and I actually don't have a problem with knowing that. Let's just say 12-year-olds. The two 12-year-olds were having sex. What I have a problem with is the detail in it. I don't need to know that. Like, if your story genuinely warrants that these two put themselves in a situation where they should not be in,
you don't need to go into detail.
And you're handling it like they should not be in the situation and not romanticizing it. But kids have sex. So, but I don't want to sit there and have a Stephen King moment.
Yeah, really.
Where it's
don't worry, you won't get away with it, but he will.
Where it's described. I don't like that.
Yeah.
So, and I don't do that. But there is sex in my book. It isn't graphic sex, but it is some details. So, and then there's situations. There are really, there are really tough situations going on, and I didn't do it in a way where I call handling it. It's not handled in a way where then people are set aside and explained and blah blah blah. I didn't do that because it was real life in a timeline kind of setting.
True.
So I don't want someone to pick the book up and reading it and going like, "Oh my God, I'm
shocked.
This was the Hunger Games or something." I don't know. I don't know how to say it correctly. I just don't want any misconceptions for it.
That's a good idea. You gotta think about that. Well, Supernova was gone and Supernova is back because Wi-Fi is not a friend. And Steven said it's fantasy. The genre that wouldn't work is contemporary or Western. So I see the you would know best if it wouldn't work.
I think I could turn Shattered into anything except for a period piece. And the only reason I say that because I think it could be done, but I couldn't do it. And if you made it a period piece, the characters will switch up because I have a heavy POC cast, and that just ain't gonna go down in
certain time period.
Right.
It's not believable anyway. Unless because they do that in some movies and it gets on my nerves. So like a story or something, they'll be like writing it a period piece because no one made you use our world and our history and do a period piece and be like, oh, we're in this setting where we know that Black people were slaves, and then they'll be like the woman's like a princess, or she'll be like a lady or whatever in a household of all these people and it's like mixed races and stuff like that. I'm like, that didn't happen. What's going on here? Like, people like, well, it's fantasy. No, you brought reality into it. So,
universe, because that ain't
right. Then say that. Say it's an alternate universe. Let me try to roll up in here with like that's history and like everybody was friends and stuff. Stop that. That's not
right. So it couldn't be a period piece.
Right. I understand why. Like, obviously,
yeah, I wouldn't. You have.
You really trying to bring some issues in with the different races together as a couple. Like you, what?
Oh my
Somebody
God.
Get murdered.
So yeah, because we have a couple of paradox
that's going to be some trouble. Like what you talking about? You got Native Americans in there and Black people.
Asian Americans and
some bad stuff will be going down in your book if it become a period piece. I'm just saying. Let me check this chat over here.
It's bad enough.
I know. Supernova was saying, oh yeah, back up here. He's like, I walked in back on the sex talk. Yeah, you did. I thought I had this talk in like 5th grade. Yeah, well, not everybody's listening. Just saying. Like most people on, because if you check the percentage of girls that lose their virginity, let's just say they not no 18. Men usually lose their virginity later than females because they ain't got no choice because guys be like wanting to have sex, and the women be like over here probably, especially when they're younger, they be like, you're not even a man yet and stuff. So that's why the percentage of girls lose their virginity is younger than males that lose their virginity, which is not surprising, really.
I was older than most, as thotty as I am. I know it's hard to believe, but
funny.
I lost it later than a lot of people do.
Yeah, I definitely did.
It wasn't because a sister ain't want to give it up.
See, now I was the opposite of that. It's not that first of all, with my mother, there was no way anything was being given up.
Right.
But I had guys coming after me even at a younger age, and seriously, someone was like older, like, "Are you what, type of thing? Like, get out of here, old man," because I was like a teenager, like young, like 13, 14. So these guys are like in their 20s and late 20s stuff. But I'm like, no, I wasn't even interested. I was still playing with Barbies when I was 12. Like, I still had my Barbie setups and stuff when I was 12. Granted, I was into metal music by the time I hit 12, but I was still an innocent girl. Even though I liked guys, I didn't like guys sexually, technically, like I did, but it wasn't like I want to have sex with him. It was like, oh, he's really attractive type of thing. It wasn't the setting where I was like trying to go have sex. I knew about it, but I wasn't interested like that because my mindset was more innocent.
Oh, my hot ass always wanted to have sex. And every time I would see the next cute boy, because I have a thing for pretty boys. And
supernova metal.
I was stopping my tracks. I was that.
Well, see, the first guy I had a crush on was a Chinese guy. He worked at the corner store. He was the son of the family that owned the store. And I was probably like 8 or something. And he was like 14 or whatever. But I was like, when I saw him, I was like, my eyes got all big.
I remember every crush I've ever had. And again, I didn't act on them because I still had a little bit of a not fear, more of a I don't want to do this at this time, but that doesn't mean I didn't want to do it, if that makes sense. So
yeah, I get you.
But I had the opposite issue. I didn't even look like a woman until I was in my teens and like high school. I was a flat-chested, non-curvy little thing. I know it's hard to believe with all this bodaciousness going on now. But I was a little teeny tiny thing. Like when I was 12, I looked 8. I was like orchid.
Okay, so see, I was real thin. I'm not now. I'm curvy as fuck. But I was real thin when I was a kid. But when I hit 12, I was a C cup. And I had butt.
Girl,
yeah, I was a C cup when I was 12. And I had a butt. And guys thought I was older just because they weren't looking at my face. They were looking at my boobs and my butt, So, yeah, that was like, that's just my family, females in my family, I guess, or whatever. Because my mom was like that. She was early developed too. Like she had breasts and stuff at 8.
I didn't do anything early. And all my sisters did. They got everything early. They got boobs. They became women early. I'm still looking like a child. And I'm in high school and I'm looking like, if you see my graduation pictures, I'll show you my graduation pictures. And you see my little boobies. Mm-hmm. They was fake. They was toilet tissue. And I didn't even own a bra. So like the girl who I based Pui after gave me a bra to wear because her mom was like, you cannot wear this gown without a bra. I'm like, I don't have nothing to put in the bra. So we put stuff in the bra. And if you kind of look at the picture, my boobies are a little lopsided. But yeah, that's
cute.
It's sad. It's actually sad.
It's fine. Oh no, but you funny. Talk about getting that age of body, early age. Yeah. Yeah, early.
With me, I never had a type that was connected to race, but I had a type big time.
I can't say that that's true for me. I was automatically attracted to Asian men when I was little, and I grew up like being attracted to Asian men, and then I slowly started getting into like mixed looking dudes and stuff like that. But I'm like, I still was attracted because, of course, every guy I was with every guy I was with was mixed, and mostly mixed with Asian or like Hispanic and Caucasian or something like that. I think all my exes, I say all, it's like 4 of them. Well, actually, no, that would be 3, and then I'm with the 4th. So, but I'm just saying, like, Asian mix to begin with every time is I'm just attracted to Asian features, and then men with longer hair. I think all my boyfriends had longer hair. I like men with long hair. Even if I had my hair short at the time, I like longer hair because I like to grab on too. Yeah, I like to grab it.
I do not like. I tell my I was talking to one of my nieces, and she was saying, "Oh, I don't think I could get with a guy that had a lot of hair." I'm like, "That's because you do not understand what you are missing.
You missing something."
And I'm like, "Oh shit, you're talking to this girl." I mean, she's 32 years old, but I'm like, I need to calm my nerves when I be talking.
Yeah, right. You calm down when you calm down.
But my first boyfriend. And I do that in air quotes for 2 reasons.
We always do the first ones in air quotes. My first 10. Boyfriend, it gets air quotes too.
Right. I was 10. Therefore, I wasn't allowed to have a.
Oh, look at Nova.
What?
Talk about, I had a Japanese guy once. Worth it.
Nova, stop. Now, one thing
Nova, I think I like you a little bit more now. We're gonna have to talk about that when I'm stopped.
We was already supposed to be going cruising for guys, but one of my major.
Oh, stop it. Look at her, man. Look. Talk about that. I believe that.
I am not going to comment because I actually do not have any idea if that's true. I just what I will do is I will believe you. I am.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh. So, but he was 10. No, he actually was 10, no quotes. And he was my boyfriend. Did I get a knock? Did y'all hear a knock?
Okay. I didn't.
And he was so pretty.
Oh.
And I will never, I'm sorry. I have to tell the story. Y'all have to deal with me on this. It's a short story.
Okay. Well, this is, guys, this writing's going to be a little bit more chatting than writing, but we'll get at least 2 sprints in, I promise.
Okay. So there was this.
I'm down for sexy talk. Yeah, you going to write women right now? I'm just saying.
Poor Steven.
Sorry, Steven.
You tell us about your cute stuff too. But here you go. I was going to summer camp. This thing, Camp Concern, where they bus city children out into different army bases and stuff that they have set up for camp throughout the summer. Anyway, so me and my girlfriend. We sat in the same goddamn seat every day for the whole summer. It was our seat. So F the world, don't tell us. And so people would get mad because they would try to get on the bus before us and take our seats.
Oh, what?
So because haters, jealous, petty, the whole 9. And then they did anything to make sure they tried to separate the 2 of us because we were really good friends. We were summer friends. I don't even remember her name. Didn't know her before then. Never saw her again. But we were summer friends. And so one day I get on the bus and someone took my seat. Someone was sitting next to her and this person refused to get up.
Oh boy.
So I was kirking out because I wasn't the sweet person that you know now when I was a kid. I was very entitled, very like it's my seat. Attitude. And so the counselors who adored me, because I'm having a full-on tantrum, who adored me, they're like, come on, goddess, you got just come sit in the back. I'm like, the back? Oh, hell to the no. That's not happening. So I started crying, and the one counselor, his name, we started for R, we'll call him Reggie. I remember this because he's the brother of my boyfriend. So he picks me up. He said, come on, we got you. And he takes me to the back of the bus and he says, sit next to my brother. He's really nice. And then my heart went, not only did you take my seat, not only do I not get to sit next to my friend, but now you want me to sit next to a boy? No, I have no cootie shots. I'm not sitting next to a boy.
Cootie shots?
No way am I sitting next to a boy. So I looked at the boy. Now, mind you, he was pretty. but I was already in my, she woman boy hating mode. So therefore, sitting next to him was not going to happen. So I sat next to him, and thank God I was little, and I put like this much space between us, and he kept trying to be nice, and I kept saying, "You're a boy, stop talking to me. Why are you still trying to talk to me? Boy, look out the window at the trees." I literally said, "Boy, look out the window at the trees." So he went and he started naming friggin' trees. Oh, that's a sycamore. And I went,
You like this mother?
and he go, "Oh, that's a pine or whatever." But I love trees. And it's almost like he figured it out in me being very mean to him. And he said, well, that's a spruce. I said, well, actually, that's not a spruce. That's a so and so and such and such. He said, ah. And then we started talking. But then I remember, boy. So his brother are gonna come along like, oh, y'all are boyfriend and girlfriend. It's so cute. And before I could go, nah. The boyfriend's name was Ron. He goes, I know, she's so pretty.
You like, well, I guess that's sealing the deal.
First of all, no one ever called me pretty in my life.
Well, that's time to make him that boyfriend. I'm just saying.
So I'm looking at him going, So he's like, will you eat lunch with me? And I'm like, no, I have my friends. Can I eat lunch with you and your friends? No, you cannot. But in my heart, I'm going, did he just say I was his girlfriend and I was pretty? So I'm telling my summer friend, hey, I met the boy Ron. And she was like, ew, you sat next to a boy. I was like, I know. But in my heart, I'm going, he's cute. So anyway, we only had 3 days of summer left. Long story short, I purposely got on the bus late so I would lose my seat and have to sit next to
Look at you playing the games and stuff.
Girl. And so the second day when I'm on there, he's like, and he had the cutest voice. And he's like, since I'm your boyfriend, can I get a kiss? I'm like, oh, my mom was not going to let me kiss nobody now. But
you gotta relax yourself.
And he's like, I brought you something. And he had all this candy, and his brothers and sisters have made all this shit, like a bouquet of shit, and handed it to me. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's really nice. I don't eat candy, but thank you. And I'm trying so hard to be coy. But I'm like, I love him. So I'm a sick kid. We get into the camp, and I really get sick. Like I'm throwing up and everything sick.
Oh no!
And he saw me because we were like in the bleachers, and he saw me getting sick. So they rushed me to the infirmary. They said, well, you got to lay here. Basically, it was something I ate that wasn't agreeing with me.
Yeah.
And so I'm laying in the bed, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm ruining my whole summer. And next thing I know, he comes in like this. And they're like, oh no, Ron, what's wrong? And he goes, oh, I'm sick. I'm so sick. And he faked sick to be in there with me.
He trying to start a K-drama. Tell him stop.
It was so cute. So his brothers was like, oh, they're so in love. So they parade us all around from then on. So the next day we didn't have to obey any rules anymore because we were the love couple. And we got to be in the swimming pool all day. And because I like swimming, and then he likes swimming, and it was sad. But he's like, I'm gonna give you my phone number and you can call me. And I'm like, oh, my mom's not gonna let me call you, but you can give me the number. So I took the number, and he was like, this is our last day. Can we have a kiss? And I'm like, all right, whatever. We get off the bus and we kissed.
Oh.
And his brothers and his sister just stood there. They're like 17, 18 years old. They're like, oh my God, it's so precious. And so he said, call me, okay? Call me. So I was like, all right. And my aunt like beat me because she saw me kiss him. Bitch. And so I told my mom that my aunt beat me, number one. My mom took care of her ass. But I told my mom, hey, I got to call this boy. And she said, oh, you can't call him. That's a county number. And at the time, the number was like a long distance. Mm-hmm. Remember back in the day?
Yeah, I remember.
And so I was like, but I promised him I would call him. And she's like, I'm sorry. We can't afford you to do that. So that was my first boyfriend.
Oh, that's so sweet. I didn't have no experiences like that. My mom's, that wasn't even happening. Lockdown central on my life. Like, I didn't meet no other kids really.
And my mom what the cute thing was, because I told my mother everything. Like I told her about the candy, the kiss. I told her I told her everything.
That would have been interesting to have that type of experience, but I couldn't like tell my mom none of that stuff. Like even when I got my first boyfriend when I was in my early 20s, I didn't even tell her about it. Like that's how she was. Like even all the way up until I was 30. I didn't tell her about none of the guys I was dating. She said, "Oh, I knew some of this or that." I literally did not tell her because she didn't act right. Like she would just be like, "Give me your driver's license, give me this and that," and then she would get like upset if I was going to go out or something. I had to tell her like I'm like almost 30, like I don't really need to.
That's not like my father. My father,
it's like it's going too far. So I'm not even going to tell your ass, like you know that type of thing. So I'm like, I'm not even going to tell you. Like, there's no point me telling you if you're going to get upset. You know what I'm saying? I'm an adult. I don't have to. Though we all live in the same house or whatever. But I don't need to like tell you because if you're going to get upset, then it's not your business to know. But yeah, she was like that.
But I haven't really had any boyfriends, like legit, straight up. I'm in a relationship. I call this dude my boyfriend, other than Ron at 10, to be honest with you. And people say, well, how is that possible? I didn't say I never had sex. I said that I ain't had no boyfriends.
Yeah, I mean, everybody probably
I really haven't. Like, if I look back over my life, there's never been a legit, we're in a relationship, that's my boyfriend kind of thing. I would love to have a boyfriend. But I literally told my mother everything.
That's nice.
My father, on the other hand, I didn't give him details because he didn't like the whole thing about boys being around. And
my fathers don't, but at least in a way, like if they just don't like that, that's fine. But you need somebody to tell that stuff to, like somebody. Because I didn't have.
I'd known you because you could have told me.
I know, because I didn't have friends either until I was like 19, and my first friend Robert, and he was the best friend because he's gay, so I could tell him all that stuff, and all my friends were guys, so I couldn't really talk to them about that stuff. And then like first girl that was my friend, Rachel, and we're not friends anymore because of some bull crap, but I told her she knew about some of the dudes or whatever. And so I would tell her when that stuff was going on, and like she would even like.
You told me about one guy back in the day, and we were talking. I'll never forget this because I didn't know what was up, and you were telling me, "Girl, this and the third, blah blah blah." And then your mom was walking towards our table, and you're like, "Don't say nothing, be quiet."
Yep. And I'm like, why now?
Why is she telling me to be quiet? Like, all right.
What? Yeah, now you know. Like, it was like that. Like, you don't even know half of it. Like, I tell you some of it sometimes, like some of the crazy that would go down, even all the way up until Feora was like developed.
Right.
Okay. Like she never even met her father.
I understand. Believe me, I love your mom, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that was like no to that. So like all the way up to I'm 35 this year. So like literally that's why I said like when I dated this Hispanic dude, Mario. And
Mario.
Yeah. He was too short for me. But I let that slide. I let it slide. But he was stupid. Okay, like he had to go.
Wait a minute. I don't know if you ever heard this song because you may be too young. But back in the 80s, there was this song called "I Like Them Big and Stupid."
I know that song.
I love that song. I'm like, because I've looked at plenty of guys. I'm like, you're really pretty. Please stop talking.
But seriously though, let me check the chat because I saw Nova was saying some stuff. Yeah, Nova.
Sorry, we've been talking.
Yeah, Nova likes the guys who work with animals. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and a vet tech. Cool. He also likes metal. Yeah. I like some metal.
Right now, like, okay, joking or not joking, I've been going around telling everybody that Katy Perry stole my man.
Oh my God.
Let's be clear. The bitch stole my man. But I just like pretty boys. I just do.
I know they are very
pretty.
Pretty ones are good. Pretty ones are good.
I just don't. I just like pretty boys. And
they nice to look at.
I'm so glad I caught myself.
Hi, Candy.
I just do, but not see, because all the guys that I've ever really liked, who I've kind of talked to, you know what I mean, kind of thing. They've always been like kind of freaking amazing.
Yeah.
But I never got into a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm a slut.
I'm that one that's like, so when I would work or whatever, like I worked at Toys R Us, and when I worked at Toys R Us, this guy on my shift was all like kept trying to come on to me and blah 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 blah. And I was like, leave me alone, because if I wanted you, you know about it. And he wouldn't stop. And I was actually seeing my boyfriend at the time, who was my manager. I wasn't allowed to tell anybody because he was over me, so you weren't allowed to really date your managers.
Right.
But he was temporary manager because we were on the remodel team. And so he was from California at the time. And so I was dating him, and then the guy was kept hitting on me. He see it. He's like, I'm not saying nothing because I already know how she is. So I was like, leave me alone, leave me alone. So every time I come to work, he'd be like trying to stop. I'm like, so I had to destroy him one day with words. I was like, look, first off, I'm not attracted to you. Okay, that's going to be one for you. So that means like nothing's going to happen. I'm not attracted to you at all. You're like, I said, you're like a woman to me. And I'm not into women at all. So you have zero chance with this. So second, you're disrespecting the woman you're with right now. I see her drop you off. Your children are in the back seat of the car. She's driving the car. You don't have a driver's license. So you're disrespecting her right now by talking to me. And what makes you think I want to be with you? Like, get your shit together. Like, think about this for a minute. And he was like, wow. I was like, the next time you talk to me, I'm going to destroy you more than I already have. Okay.
Oh, shit. The next time you try to talk to me, when your girl pull up, I'm going to walk out there with.
That's what I told him. He was all like, oh, he didn't say nothing else. And I was annoyed. Like,
I don't like stuff like that at all. That's not, I don't even know why guys or girls think that's cute. Like, I
not. Like, if I tell you no, like, that's it. Like, you think I'm playing around? I'm not playing around. Like, you gonna get my bad side. I'm real nice, but you gonna get the bad shit come out, and you not gonna like that. So yeah, I had to get his shit straight. But that kind of shit, like, what I tell you, if I wanted your ass, you know about it. So bye.
Right?
I don't need nobody to wait. I don't wait for nobody. When I want somebody, that's it. That's all there is to it. I don't need you to like. Get out of here with that.
You know what? Don't get too mad at me, but my AD said he's going to be here like at 9:15.
That's cool. So, well, we'll get it right in. Because I know you.
While y'all were doing a sprint, I might have to step away.
That's cool. So we're gonna at least try to get 2 sprints in. Because I do have to. We have to like conk out like at 9:45 because you know my schedule in the evening. Oh, just as busy as my day schedule. It's okay because a lot of right now.
I have to take care of this because the shoot is coming up.
I know.
And everything. You got to. Oh my God. It's just crazy.
Looking over, like, just talk.
Okay. I ain't mad.
So, no, I mean, we're not mad. As long as Steven is cool. Yeah,
I don't want Steven to feel like he's left out.
He's not. He said he liked dudes too, so he good.
But I mean, left out just in talking in general.
Well, we only talking about dudes, so
we
they would be left out otherwise.
God, though, like talking to, like, I literally, like, I know a lot of people probably look at our relationship, like me and my mom, and wonder, oh my God, why hasn't she smacked you in your mouth yet? But the way she raised us, and that's all of us, not just me. I mean, I was a bit more verbose than everybody else, but everybody else was also doing shady sideways shit, and I never did that. True. But I was like, I would come home like, oh my God, Mom, I saw this guy. I mean, he was working every angle. I did not know what to do first, you know. And she and my mom, oh my God, she's very. I hate to say this, but she's this very typical Jewish mother.
Oh boy.
So she's like, so what does he do? And
you knew that was coming.
Where does he work? Who is his father?
Oh boy.
I'm like,
serious question. You like, he's pretty.
I don't know his name.
You were like, he's pretty though.
He had really green eyes. That's all I know about him. I was calling him Green Eye Boy. I don't. And she's like, you need to work on that. You need.
Oh yeah, I was even notice that. Oh God, I grew up in Jersey.
No,
I know Jewish moms. Yeah,
she's a mess.
Jewish moms.
My mom is Jewish and Italian. Okay.
Woo. Yeah,
So
that's right. You got it bad, man.
there was, yeah, but my mom is like you though, DL, cause she had her type,
Dude.
and her type fell into that one little narrow category. She ain't go out of it. She did not.
Yeah, that's kind of like me. I mean, it wasn't intentional, and like dudes would get it all the time. Like, okay, so I'm not attracted to black dudes at all, like zero.
You like what you like.
Yeah, true. But the funny thing is, black dudes would hit on me, and then they would be like angry when I would be like not reciprocate. Like I'm not interested at all. It's just a fact. I'm attracted to Asian dudes, right? It's nothing I can do about it. It's just how it is, you know. And then they would be like,
Mm-hmm.
"What?" Like and get mad. I'm like, "There's nothing I can do about it. You're like a woman to me." I would just tell them that. They would just stop immediately, and their tracks like
I don't
stop.
think
Like,
they understood what you meant by that. Like you're saying that
I told them I elaborated because I'm an elaborator. So I told them I said I'm not attracted to women. So that should tell you right now. I'm very straight. I like me the men's.
see,
So
I always struggle with the whole thing with me because I know that I like boys. I only like boys. I don't like girls. But here's the thing about not liking girls. I really don't like girls. Like I don't understand why anybody finds girls attractive. Like I look at guys and like, why do you like girls? If I was a dude, I would still like dudes.
right.
I am convinced. I am convinced in my core that there is a beautiful gay man inside of me because that's how much I don't like girls. I think but I don't think that's a good thing. Like I believe
There's
that
nothing wrong with that.
if you are blessed enough that you can take people in whatever package they come in, you got it going on. Me being a weird person that I am,
Yeah.
my whole thing of group of people that I can get with based on what I'm attracted to is very small. And then I'm attracted to the kinds of guys that sometimes like other guys.
This is true
And
too.
but it's nothing wrong with that. Like I literally do not have a problem with that.
Yeah, it's just that they won't be interested in me, so
I literally don't have a problem with that.
it's cool, like, but it's like you won't be like, oh, I was kind of crushed a little bit when I found out that the guy who played Dracula was gay.
What
But
guy?
he played the new Dracula in the new Dracula movie that came out 2 years ago. He's British actor, real pretty, like rugged type of
I gotta look him
Dracula.
up. I don't even know who it is.
Yeah, but I didn't know he was gay. Not that it matters because it wasn't like I was gonna be
It
anyway.
don't
But I
matter.
was like, oh, but yeah, like of course I was like, of course, the attractive one. Let me say.
But see, my type of guy that I like never fell into a color scheme. I will say
Everybody has preferences.
I
Like
will say
seriously.
this though, that I've always been weird. Like I used to, you know how like you'll say like you like mixed. I used to only like I'm gonna use examples of people that you might know, like somebody like Wesley Snipes, who was head to toe, even complected, dark skinned, and then someone like Tom Welling, head to toe, light skin. Like I always went for that kind of thing. But
that's cool.
But pretty. But my favorite look, you want to get me drooling? I like Clark Kent looks. I like
don't even go there. Stop.
I like medium complexion, light.
I totally get it. But you talking about Tom? What like
Tom Welling is
just no. Like you see how tall he is.
He did a movie. Now you know I don't watch no horror, but Tom decided he was gonna do this damn horror film. I think it's the Fog or the Blog or whatever. But he did this film, and then one of the scenes
the Fog. Yeah.
In a shower. How you supposed to concentrate on whatever's going on in the film? This boy naked and wet.
Nobody don't care no more once that happened. I'm just saying.
I do not, honest to God, do not know.
I was angry when they didn't let him play Superman. Like they were like, oh well, no. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Somewhere along the lines, when the WB was making Smallville, they decided that Tom Welling would never don the suit. And that's why when you watch the whole series, he's never, ever, ever, ever in the cape and all that other stuff.
He just had like the S. I like when he had the he was Dr. Superman when he had like the S and he had the black on, and then at the end of the series he like flies, but they don't show it.
Tom Welling.
Playing with our emotions and stuff.
But I do like.
That's like one of the best shows ever. Smallville. Oh my god! Like I've watched Smallville quite many times, and it's so long.
I like Smallville so much that every year for Christmas, somebody buys me a box set. I have
Smallville
a box set, and
I love
me some Tom Welling. But again, I like Clark Kent. I like medium complexion, light eyes, dark hair.
Yeah, that's
for some reason that contrast just pulls my attention.
I like okay, then I'll like I have a preference, but it's sometimes I go outside of that spectrum. It's not like it's like locked in for sure, because if I think somebody's attractive, then they're attractive. So I had a thing for David Tennant, Liam Neeson.
Like the big ones.
Yeah, I do. So Liam Neeson, I'm like, I'll go crazy for Liam Neeson. Like, and people are like, what is the old man? I'm like, but did you see Liam Neeson?
See, I like Rain.
Dude, don't talk about Rain. Stop.
I like tall, thin hips, big shoulders.
You saw that post I did with that dude from History. Oh my.
Like swimmers' bodies.
The abs. Oh my god, stop.
Why are we talking about this? I ain't got no boyfriend. I can't even do nothing about this. I can't even fix this. I gotta call somebody and like I used to talk to them, like, what you doing? You're making me do one of them booty calls.
I'm just saying, but when you get a boyfriend, he gonna be in trouble though.
I put it out there in the universe. I would love to have a boyfriend. I would love to have a partner in crime. I would love to be wooed up. But yeah, he in trouble.
I'm just saying, like, he gonna be like, well, I guess I won't see Aphrodite for a while.
He would have to be like me in every way, like creative and all that other stuff, but he would also have to be a pervert of some sort, because
you want to kill somebody otherwise.
I'm telling you, it's a 17-year-old boy in here. In every way, like dumb shit makes me think of sex. Like, why did that remind you of sex? I have no idea. Come on.
Because you're you.
Clothes off.
Because you're you.
Like, oh wow, we're gonna scramble some eggs, and I'll be giggling. Like, why are you giggling? I don't know.
You are so messed up, though.
Clothes up. I know. I need help.
Well, I'm going to throw the second question in there because we're going to at least do our questions.
Right.
Question number 2: what genre is your favorite to read and why?
I'll answer that. And it's gonna be weird. I almost hate to say this out loud. I am not a big reader, but stay with me. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of mental issues, and so it is hard for me to read stuff and stay on track without jumping track and then starting thinking about other things and then want to write. Mm-hmm. The majority of the stuff that I end up reading are always like how to and text and stuff like that. The minute I start reading a story, 2 things happen. I get about 4 or 5 pages in, and then I get sleepy because my brain can't handle it. So it takes me a long time to get through a story. Okay. That's why I say I'm not a big reader. I'm a big lover of reading, but it's hard on me. Like, people can read a book in a day, and it would take me like a month to read that same book. So I just wanted to quantify that, because I know people like, you got 8 billion books. Yeah, I read all those books, but I mean, I'm 60 years old. It took me all those years to get to it. So my favorite thing probably to read is what I like to write is paranormal fantasy, paranormal romance. So, and that's kind of where I fall the most, but it's hard to say, because it's not like I haven't read every single genre and haven't liked something in it. True. My favorite would have to be paranormal romance.
Yeah, I'm gonna say fantasy is probably my number 1, and then second runner real close is paranormal romance. I own a lot of paranormal romance. I got into that probably in my like late 20s into paranormal romance. I used to only read manga, of course, but I used to only read like fantasy. My favorite author is a fantasy writer, R.A. Salvatore, and my favorite character in fantasy is Dritz Duardin. So obsessed with Dritz, like completely. Like, if Dritz was real, I'll be like, Dritz, can I marry you? Like, Dritz, like
right.
And Dritz is a dark elf, like the fantasy version of dark elf. So
yeah, I would like that.
If you take dark elves in certain aspects depends on what aspects, like Forgotten Realms, Dark Elves, like Dritz is the Drow. Dark elves are underground, subterranean. They're very dark skin, like ebony skin.
Ooh,
Yeah, ebony
like
skin, and
Onyx.
yeah. So
Yeah.
onyx skin. Dritz is onyx skin, and his hair is pure white. So
Oh, what book is
yeah.
this? What book series?
Um it's the Forgotten. It's from the Forgotten Realms. He writes in this. He has a lot of books. Legacy of the Drow, Icewind Dale. Like it's a lot of them. Like I'll have to send you some of the titles.
Right. Send
But
me a link, an Amazon link, and I'll look. I'll look.
yeah, so he has a new book coming out. I had missed a few of Dritt's books. Like I have all his books except for like the last year. I missed a few of them, but I will be catching up. But yeah, I love Dritz. Like his story is so good. Like his girlfriend is Canterbury. She's a human, and then like one of his best friends, Wolfgar, who actually I think he was in love with Canterbury, but Wolfgar is like a big like hawking type of Viking type of dude, and then his other companion is a dwarf. But yeah, so that's like make up the cast or whatever. But so Dritz obviously
Is it any romance?
there is romance between Dritz and Canterbury. And out in the story somewhere, but it's not a focal point. But it becomes focal in certain points of the different books or whatever, because
Right.
he is in love with Canterbury.
I just was
But the sad part about it is that Dritz is an elf, you know, and he means he's going to live way longer than Canterbury. She's a human, so that's the sad part of their love. And I'm not going to ruin it for anybody who's reading the stories and not as far as I am, because a whole bunch of stuff goes down and stuff like that. But I love it. So I have to send you the link to him. But yeah, so fantasy is my number one, and then paranormal romance is my number two. So I really like Christina Faheen and oh yeah, Sherilyn Keane. I love like her stuff.
See, some of the stuff that I've read, that because of how graphic the sex is in the books, it fell under erotica, like Elizabeth Amber's.
Yeah.
But it was still paranormal.
Yeah.
So I really got into those books, and she inspired me in a way that when I decided that I was going to write any sex, that the sex had to be able to be erased, and the book still had to
still be good story. Yeah, I think that's a valid point, because I still need to review this book. I need to write the writer and then let them know that I'm sorry I'm behind with reviewing the book, but I'm so busy right now. But I'm trying to get through, even though it's a novella, really, it's really, really short. But I have to send them notes on it. It's because it's like you are a good representation of that, like writing erotica, but I could take all the sex scenes out of your story and the story would still be very valid without any of the sex scenes.
Oh, thank you. And see, that's literally my goal. And the way I think that I pull it off is because I don't write the sex scenes with the story.
How do you go back in and write them?
Either write a bunch of sex scenes that I know, because I have my outline I can go on, but I literally put they make love, they have sex, and I write the story, and then I go back.
Right. I think that's a very intelligent way to do it, because unless you don't want that, you don't want the story to be, relevant or whatever. And it's just straight, like, that, which is fine.
Stuff like that too.
Yeah, I've read that stuff, but I'm more into stuff for story, so it doesn't really for me.
See,
oh yeah, Nova's like Drows. Yeah, the Drows are cool. I love Drows.
Your favorite?
Stevens,
you see
my favorite. Yeah, yeah, you read Stevens. Yeah, fantasy and also yeah.
See, I love sci-fi. Now I cannot write sci-fi, but I love. I literally wrote. No, I take that back. I wrote a couple episodes of Star Trek, but to be clear, they were scripts. So since they were scripts, it's not the same. I don't have to go into a bunch of prose in order to pull it off, because it's dialogue action, but not written in description.
Right.
So I don't think I could. I just
thank you, Nova. Thank you. Like I'm the only one, because Nova's like, I don't care about grammar. I care about the story and characters. Right.
Me too.
Like when I'm reading, I was reading Aphrodite's book in different stages when she did Shattered, beta run, I was the alpha. Literally, she sent me the raw of it, and it did not faze me in the least. any grammar or misspellings or missing. It did not phase me because I could focus on a story and get through. Like she was crazy, like surprised how fast I read it too. Because when a story's good, I'm like bam, bam, bam. I can't sleep. I have to read this book.
See, like I read like this. The autumn winds were blowing, and so and so. Again, that's why I put myself to sleep.
Well, see, when I'm reading, I'm there like immediately. My imagination is like top there. Like as soon as I'm reading, I'm in this book, right?
Nova, if you send me your contact information, I'll make sure you get a draft.
Oh yeah, Nova, you're gonna love this book. Like the story is top shelf.
I don't know if it'll be something in your wheelhouse, Stephen, but I can still get you a copy of it.
Yeah, you're right, Nova. I was like, there is so much depth and passion in raw drafts, like for real. That's your baby, man.
And the one thing to keep in mind, I do not, or let me take that back. I did not edit myself while writing Shattered. I am a little more of a clean writer when it comes down to other things, but Shattered was different. Shattered needed to be exercised out of my head. So I literally wrote it the way it came to me. And so when I sent out the first draft, I expected people to crucify me. I only got one person who actually just decided that they were just going to point out all the stuff that was wrong that I said not to point out.
Like, I don't need.
I know that there's typos. I know that there's this. Tell me that it's inconsistencies with the plot.
I'm not like sending you to say I'm printing this next week. Like, can you tell me what's typos? Like, you didn't ask for that, but people don't hear or listen.
And this particular person is just a critical person anyway. But I did want her to read it because, like I said, she's kind of a she deduces very well. She's a master detective and she reads detective stories. And I wanted to see what she caught because I laid a lot of Easter eggs out. And she was really good for that. Yeah. But she doesn't follow fucking directions. Don't tell me that I spelled Michael wrong. It is a typo. I know how to spell Michael. If you see that Michael is misspelled 1,000 times, point that out because then that's not a mistake. That is an error. But if it's a typo, it's a damn typo.
It happens. It's called writing.
Really
Notice that I critique on character, story, and lore if there is enough to get an understanding of the lore. Yep, makes sense. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just don't ask me to edit. I'm horrible with grammar.
Look, don't even talk to me about editing. I just finished
I think I'm learning a lot editing my own work. Like when I did my short stories for Writers Unite, and I had you go over it for me, the horror story. Now I learned a lot. Like I edited it again after I got it from you. But I'm learning a lot more because I wasn't ever planning on being an editor. And at the time when I was younger and being a young writer, I wasn't in the mindset that it didn't matter if I messed it up or not because I have an editor to do that type of setting. I didn't even think about it because I was in the traditional writer mindset. Like I'm going to go traditional publish. I'm not going to have to worry about this and that. Not thinking or knowing the layout of you as the writer have to edit it the first time, at least to make it legible for the editor to edit it. You know what I mean?
This is my thing, and this will always be my thing, regardless of how life goes. You want to know as much as there is to know,
possible, right?
Even if the job doesn't end up being yours.
Right, exactly. It's part of being a writer, right?
If you handed me stuff, I am a very good editor, as long as it ain't my shit. But I'm a very good editor. If you notice, like if you take Shattered out the picture and you just base on anything else I've given you, those things haven't been edited, but they're cleaner drafts.
Yeah,
that's how I write. I write a little cleaner.
But see, now I'm like this. So with Chronicles of Cagliostro, I have a draft, but I'm actually revising the draft, which takes so much time because I'm changing very important, significant things. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to give it to you once I finish revising. I may not completely edit it all the way, but I'm going to send it to you. But see, like, my level of respect for your eye, for your editing and for your writing is very high. So when I send you something, I want to send you something clean. I'm like, I don't really want her to see my shit.
No, you don't look at it like that.
I know it's hard to though. It's hard.
It's 150% hard. You think Me sending you raw shit wasn't hard. It was hard because I
like
knew that you had common fucking sense. I knew that you had a writer's head, and I knew that you would understand if you came across a typo. That wasn't the point.
You just so happen to come across me because I'm a writer, a reader, and I have a brain that works. So I wasn't going to be.
And then your raw shit, I was just hard. Period. No matter who.
It is, man. It is.
Steven, you said that you have to get them finished and edited, and so on. How far along are you?
He must be getting up in there a little bit.
But yeah, I panicked, like, and then like you, and I don't know, like if you remember some of the names of the people who are tied to Shattered, but Jennifer and
like, oh my God, I have a brain too. I know, no, it's crazy.
Jennifer in the group, she is a nurse.
Yeah,
she's a registered nurse. She is a YA enthusiast. She reads about a billion books a day, all the time. When she's taking breaks, she's reading. So when it came time to send her a copy of the book, I am telling you, I was terrified because I knew she was going to come at. She is not a writer. She's going to come at it purely as a reader and a knowledgeable person in her field because she's a nurse. So I have a character, as you know, Lisa, who is practically a doctor. She's just a kid. You okay?
Yeah, she just woke up.
She's practically a doctor, you know, and I'm saying all this medical stuff, and I know she's going to catch it and be like, girl, no, people don't walk down the steps with full-length casts. And she was going to catch something I needed, you know. So
yeah, that's true though. That's good to have a variety of people to read it.
Yeah, I mean,
catch things.
And I
hope I'm blessed enough to come across. I got a whole list of people who said that she's sleeping. Well, she's waking up.
Corey probably will want to read yours because yours has monsters.
Yeah, sure.
He's gonna want to go. By the way, people, when I say monsters, I mean vampires, werewolves, that kind of.
It also has cosmic being in it. So Cthulhu.
That's what I mean when I say stuff like it, because people go, they think Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yeah, he is a monster, but I mean all of them.
All the monsters that happen.
Supernatural, paranormal realm.
Yeah, mama.
So because she don't have no interest in reading none of my stuff. None.
No, really?
Made it really clear. And I was
she made it real clear.
Yeah. And then I didn't want to give anybody encounters because first of all, encounters was just an easy write. But
encounters was awesome. Man.
I really enjoyed writing that.
You gotta get those rest of those ready to go, man. People asking.
I'm getting emails all the time because people. This is what's funny about it.
I will, Nova.
Oh my God. Okay, look. You know that you wrote a dirty book. If you go and check your KDP, your back door, and you're checking to see sales.
Yeah.
You notice it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Every weekend the thing is going up. It's going down. My sales thing looks like a heartbeat.
Really?
It's like flatline. It's so funny. I'm like, okay.
That's crazy.
You know, people are doing on the weekend. But in the back of the book, I wrote, if you were interested in reading more of those stories, because those are Pandora's version of the stories is not the same as what the stories are, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
She's dropping in. She's quantum leaping into these stories and quantum leaping back out. But the stories still have beginning, middles, and ends that she's not a part of. And so I asked people if they were interested. I'm getting emails all the time. Oh, when is this going to be ready? When is that going to be ready? You know, like, oh my God.
I'm ready to choke you because, like, girl.
It's going to take me a minute because I got all this other stuff in junk.
I know you got to explain to me a million things.
But at least worship will be ready for November.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll be ready for that.
Worship, because it's going to take me a minute to do Embrace, the one that I know you like because that's Red Riding Hood.
Oh yeah.
So harder to do.
Which one are you doing now?
Worship is the Three Bears one.
Oh my God. I'm had to get an air conditioner on me directly. Like the fan won't work no more. The hand fan won't work. The Three Bears. They need an air conditioner. They need air conditioner.
Yesterday, I finally was able to unlock the last part that was holding me back for writing worship. So
Really?
I did not have. That's my door. Come on in. If I did not have all this other stuff to do,
Yeah.
I would start writing it. But I don't want to start writing it and then stop and get out of the mojo. Plus, because it's so heavy, sex wise, I don't want to get riled and then have to stop and then start again and blah blah blah.
I know.
You guys, my friend is here.
Okay, that's cool. Hey, DL just rolled
Can
in
you
here.
do the last question without me?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm probably a cut up because I'm about out of time anyway. I got a great run. So if you want to say bye now,
I'm gonna have to say bye now, guys. I have a meeting. Okay, I have a production meeting because we're doing stuff for the book. So
go for it.
Next week it'll be on my channel, and I'll see you then. I'm gonna come back and see what the answers to the questions are for this though.
Yeah.
So
be great to do it.
Guys. Bye.
Bye, Aphrodite.
Bye.
Okay, guys, so let's do the last question. Let's see. Question number 3 is, what genre do you never see yourself writing in? So whichever one you don't see yourself writing in, let me know in the comments and I'll read it. I wouldn't say I want to limit myself and say there's no genre I wouldn't write in. Because originally I would have probably said sci-fi, but that's not true because I love sci-fi myself, but I never thought about writing sci-fi until recently. So I actually have been planning a sci-fi, so I can't say that any longer. I'm not sure if there's one I wouldn't. I write horror, like that's my thing too. I write poetry, I write romance, I write fantasy. I don't know. I mean, I write almost everything, so I don't really know if there's one I would say a no to. Because even erotica maybe one day, but I might have to say erotica because I'm like, I don't know if I can even write erotica. Like, I have an erotic mind, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can write erotica, erotic mind, but I'm not too sure about that. That one probably be my one erotica right now. I would like to, but I don't think I have any. Oh no, baby, we better get off. All right, so let's see here. DL said romance and erotica. Yeah, DL. I write romance, but erotica. I don't know about me. We know Aphrodite can. That girl she not playing. See, I don't have a genre that one. I know I agree. No, but we very much alike on that. I really don't have one, but erotica I would like to try. Like I probably could. I've read plenty of it, but I don't know. I could give it a go though. But it's nothing that I wouldn't want to write in. I'd write pretty much. I write so many now. I mean, I would do horror, fantasy, romance, paranormal, of course. That's my go-to. So I haven't actually come across one I won't write in. So I'll have to see about that because they could add new genres that I don't know about as well. But I write subgenres too and mix them up. Like I said, my debut novel is a paranormal espionage romance. Espionage because it has espionage elements in it, part of the main story, and then romance subplot. So paranormal being the main plot. Oh no, baby. Oh no. So I just turned 3 yesterday, everyone. So I'm all like the birthday girl week for me, right? Let's see here. You funny, you know, it was like just write a dirty fan fiction. I don't know. See, I'm not a fan fiction writer type person. Like I don't know. I never really was into fan fiction at all because I mean I've seen other people's fan fiction and read some people's fan fiction, but I'm not really like the write fan fiction type because I'm just too. It has to be in my original work. Like I can't write anything that's based off of type of thing. That's me. That's just me. But but I probably could do an erotica if I thought of a story for it. But I just writing the erotic scenes. I'm wondering if I could pull it off or not the right way. I have to talk to Aphrodite. She's like a master of that. Steven said I used to say I would never write romance, but then I started drafting an M&M romance. I don't think there's anything I wouldn't write. Let's try. Yeah, I'll say the same thing. Oh, thank you, DL. Yeah, you getting happy birthday still today. See, still getting happy. Yeah, she wants to breastfeed because she still breastfeeds actually too. Have my mom. I know, baby. All right, guys. So thanks for joining us this week. And Aphrodite had to go, but we will be back next week on Aphrodite's channel. Like I said, I'm working on probably starting in July, about mid-July. I'll be focusing on Chronos Cagliostro. My channel should be back with new videos on Fridays, hopefully starting the first week of July. If I get this program right, so I can back to editing and such things. So I'll be talking about revision and how that's going for me, because revision is a whole nother beast. um, so I will see you guys next week on Aphrodite's channel. So make sure love your face too. um, so make sure that you go on Aphrodite's channel next week, because that's what we'll be. So she'll put the link up. She always does, just like I do, in #AuthorTube on Facebook. Plus, usually we try to share it on Twitter. And I'm not sure Instagram. I try to remember to do all my things when I'm ready to put it up, but sometimes we get down to the wire. So I enjoyed chatting with everyone. It was real, real fun. We did get on sexy, pretty guy talk for a while. DL, you missed all that lovely talk. You would have fun with us with that one. But I will see you guys next week on Aphrodite's channel. Thanks for joining us. Bye.